Okay, let's start it. I think everyone has already arrived and have found the seat. And if you need still some snacks or drinks, you have 1 minute to get that. And I think we will have the cake after this session. So yeah, but it's awesome to see you all here. Welcome to help us to celebrate our second anniversary. And today's agenda is we have one session. It's presented by me. I will introduce the Kontena Cloud, give you some upcoming features of what we are implementing at this moment, so you will get some sneak peek what to wait. And after that we have a questions and answer session, more socializing. If you have some questions during this session, please raise your hand. I will throw you this catch box. So we are streaming this to internet, so those listeners and watchers will get the questions as well. So I'm Lauri Nevala. I'm one of the co-founder and software engineer here at Kontena Inc. I'm leading the cloud developer team, and I'm passionate Ruby developer and DevOps guys. I want to automate everything, and nowadays also run everything in a container. And I want to be long distance runner and a father of 2 awesome kids, and the latter explains the wannabe part. And you can find me in Twitter and GitHub. And yeah. So, for those who are unfamiliar with Kontena, Kontena is the developer-friendly container platform. It works on any cloud. Here are some quick stats. We have over 1,000 GitHub stargazers. If you haven't started yet, you can do it right after this session. And based on Docker Hub, we have over 1 million installs. The New Stack, do you know the New Stack magazine? It's focusing on new technologies, containers, and that kind of stuff. It has written a couple of nice articles about Kontena. You're gonna find those and read more about. And last year, Black Duck selected Kontena as one of the open source rookies of the year. And CIO magazine listed us as one company to watch. As I mentioned, you can run Kontena on any infrastructure. You can run it any public cloud or private data center, hybrid model. It can be virtualized or bare metal service. It doesn't matter. We have a provision tools for all major cloud providers, and ready-made Ubuntu package you can install, but it's very easy to install manually as well.
Question: does it exist in the Ubuntu repositories?
You have to configure the repository.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there is a PPA for that.
Yeah. Yeah, today's agenda is Kontena Cloud. So Kontena Cloud is a hosted service to manage and monitor your Kontena platforms. It provides authentication. It's based on a standard OAuth2. It provides Kontena Cloud dashboard there you can monitor and management in real time the entire Kontena platform. And we have found that we can still make getting Kontena up and running more easier. So we are planning to host Kontena Master to you, and you need only bring your nodes, select your cloud provider, or set up the host nodes to your own premises. And what we are also introducing is a private stack repositories. Now we are offering a public stack repository where you can very easily share your stack files. Stack files are configuration files for containers applications. And we are also introducing team support, so you can share your Kontena platform on Kontena Cloud to your team members, so everyone in the same team have access to. Yeah, the authentication part. Previously, when you logged in to Kontena Master, you entered your credentials to CLI, and the CLI requests Kontena Master to authenticate. And we felt that there might be some secure things that we didn't feel that it was the best solution. So we switched to standard OAuth2 authentication mechanism. It's implementing the web flow. So you log into Kontena Cloud and authorize the Kontena Master to use your user identity to authenticate the Kontena Master. And what is the cool part? So in future we can introduce you to mechanism how you can use this Kontena Cloud authentication with your own application. You can log in with Kontena Cloud account. One drawback with this web flow is that some users might want to use CLI on a, for example, in Amazon where is no browser support. So we need to offer some remote login mechanism as well. But we are implementing it currently. Yeah, and the Kontena Cloud dashboard. So it's the place where you can monitor and see details about your Kontena clusters and Kontena platforms. It will contain a grid overview. That's one thing we are currently doing. It's a place where you can see the grid statistics in real time and see the health status of the cluster and that kind of stuff. Then you can see your nodes that are belonging to Kontena grid, see the resource consumption, logs, and that kind of stuff. And of course you can see your application and running services, what is the status of those. And audit trail is, you can see who has done what and when. If something strange is happening in your grid, you might see there. From there that, okay, I have deployed or someone has deployed this version recently, and that's why the application is not responding. And we are implementing currently the metrics and statistics stuff. So you can see in very nice graphs that how's your applications are operating.
will it be possible to tap into the metrics and statistics without seeing the rest of the dashboard?
Through some API.
Yeah, through some.
Yeah. Everything you can see in a dashboard, you can request from API.
Okay.
Or then you can configure your grid
To
to
send.
export the statistics directly with stats.d.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have somewhere influx Grafana running, for example.
Yeah, that's already on option. Okay, I will show the current implementation is very bleeding edge technology because it's running on our staging environment. So it's not released yet, but I wanted to show you the how we are planning to do that, and actually it's quite stable at this moment. So expect to have it in a month or two.
We shouldn't have mentioned that.
Yeah, but I like to leave live demos because anything can happen. Even S3 can be down.
When would that happen?
Okay, so I have created a Kontena Platform. For us, it's called Helsinki Meetup. And in this Kontena Cloud dashboard, we have this overview. And currently, there's only some placeholders that we are filling in coming weeks. I have provisioned 2 nodes. They are running in DigitalOcean. I will zoom out a little bit. So, is it any better now? So I can see the load memory and disk consumption, and I can see the details of the nodes. I can see the logs that are coming from that node. Then we have a couple of services. Actually, we have only one at this moment. I have deployed Kontena internal VPN service to our grid, so I can connect to services from my local machine without exposing those to the internet. And then we have an audit trail. I have done lots of testing, and I can see every action here. Yes, but we can actually create one more node. Let's create it to DigitalOcean. Let's put it to Frankfurt. Okay, now it started to install DigitalOcean Droplet and all the container related stuff to that node. Meanwhile we're gonna create some services. So I created one service, yeah, it showed up. So now the service is created, but it's not deployed yet to our cluster. So let's deploy it. Okay, now it started to deploy. and we can see on the cloud dashboard the status. It's deploying it.
Is there going to be a way to do all that also from dashboard?
I think our plan is to introduce some kind of cell in the dashboard. I don't know. I'm against mechanism that you need to click with mouse everywhere and then you magically have something. It's more straightforward to execute some command. But our plan is that you can do it from dashboard. Okay, now the ready service is deployed, and we can see some details of that service. We are going to polish this information. It's not final yet, so please don't pay too much attention on those, but you will get some idea that there's some information about that service. You can see the running instances. We can see these instances running on a Snowy Water 66 node, and we can see the logs. And if we want to scale this, let's say up to 10 instances, we can see on a cloud that now there should be 10 instances, and now it's started to deploy it. Meanwhile, we can see that our just created node has joined the grid. Yeah, it's this autumn shape 97. So when you create new nodes, they will appear on Kontena Cloud automatically. And you can see the progress of deployment through Kontena Cloud. And yet we can see logs on what instance the log is coming from.
So logs on the right are actually coming from DigitalOcean.
Sorry?
Are the logs on the right frame, rightmost frame, coming directly
Yeah,
from DigitalOcean?
yeah, they are coming from the containers that are running. Now they happen to run in DigitalOcean. But you can see the aggregation of all containers in a single view. Yeah, but we can also do some more serious stuff. We can install ready-made stacks. So I'm installing now one load balancer stack that Jari has implemented. I'm installing it from a public Kontena stack registry. So in the stack file, there's configured certain variables that the CLI is now prompting. So first we can define some affinity rule that we don't want this load balancer to be deployed on node that has label no ingress LB. Okay, that's fine. I don't have any that kind of node yet. Okay, then it's asking certificates. I have already created the Kontena Vault certificate that I can use with this load balancer. Okay, now it started to deploy it. And on this time, there's also configured health check options to this service. And we can see the health status from dashboard. Because it's now deploying the first time it's unhealthy status because we don't have the healthy status yet. But okay, now it's deployed and the health check is also run and it's passed. So okay, and because this was a demo strategy used with this service, it means that this load balancer instance is deployed all the nodes that we have in our grids, unless it has that affinity rule. But we can see it's displayed, it's deployed to all nodes. Okay, then we can deploy another stack. This is a Weave scope stack, and again we can now attach our load balancer to this service. I have configured DNS weavescope.kontena.io beforehand, so I can enter it now. Let's enable HTTPS redirects. Okay, now it's first created and deployed the app, and then the probe service. And the probe service has also daemon strategy, and it will be deployed to all nodes. So the WeaveScope application is a tool to visualize running containers and services. After it's deployed, I will show you. So basically it looks like this, and we used our load balancer and we can reach that service with DNS. And everything we can see on Kontena Cloud in real time. So these couple of examples were some ready-made stacks, but naturally you have some custom-made application that you want to run and deploy with Kontena. So if you have been in a Kontena meetups, you maybe have already seen our demonstration application, to-do application. But it's very simple Ruby application that, yeah, it's a to-do application. And it's using MongoDB as a database. And in this case, we are creating MongoDB with 3 instances, and they are establishing a replica set. So it's a high availability database. And then we have our application. We are configuring it to use some Docker image. We can configure some deployment options, And we can also link our application to load balancer that we created beforehand. So we have one public load balancer and use that for many applications. But you can configure the load balancer rules in a service level. So like here we are prompting the domain that we want to use with this application. And then we can configure the health check options. And the health check options means that Kontena load balancer will automatically reject those instances that are unhealthy, and Kontena agent will redeploy those instances that are unhealthy. So hopefully and eventually you will have a healthy instance running maybe on another node if this node is not capable to run it. And we can install it with Kontena stack install command. Okay, it's now prompting the domain. I have pre-configured this DNS for this to point our cluster. And now we can choose the load balancer that we want to use. And it will deploy the stack. And we can see the progress in Kontena Cloud. Okay, some demo effects. I don't know, it has done this couple of times today. I don't know, I haven't debugged further. Is it some Docker Hub issue or what? Okay, now it's running, so.
So what logs would you be looking if that kind of things happen? Or you wouldn't be on those node logs then?
Yeah, because it's the application is not yet running, so it will be on a Kontena, in Kontena grid logs or agent logs, and that's another thing that we will provide in Kontena Cloud dashboard. We will provide all logs from all internal system components as well. So, and we will also improve the deployment progress, so you will get idea right away what went wrong.
Yeah, but because like there was something regarding pulling some image from Docker Hub.
Yeah, it seems that it deployed the first instance correctly, but with second instance something happened. Okay, now we can see that application is deployed. And we can open it with browser. Let's try it. Yeah, it was saved. Let's refresh it. Yeah, it was saved the database correctly. And again, we're gonna scale our application up because now we have one web application instance and 3 MongoDB instance. So if the node goes down, our application is down as well. So let's scale that. Let's say to 3 instances. So now we will have at least one instance running on each node. The default strategy is the high availability for the services. So Kontena scheduler will deploy it to node where the service instance is not running yet. Okay, it's now running, and maybe we will soon. Yeah, now we got the latest instance also reported. Okay. But one thing I can still show is what happens when one node goes down. So let's nuke our one of our nodes. So okay, now we saw on a Kontena Cloud dashboard the node disappeared, and what is happening on the service tab is now Kontena noticed that one node is missing. There are service instances missing, so it started to redeploy those services that have missing instances to new nodes. So, for example, the latest Amazon outage, when one data center was down with Kontena, all the service instances would have been deployed to healthy nodes automatically.
Does it work other way around also, like if you have a bit too high load on some service, if you add nodes, can you reduce the load out?
So what we are planning is to provide some webhooks and that kind of stuff that you can configure that if there's a certain amount of load, you can do something.
Yeah, but even now, if you have the nodes, for example, in Amazon auto-scaling group, and the Amazon takes care of provisioning the new infrastructure for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably get the load out, but then you might want to do some results.
Yeah, of course. But Kontena will react to the event of adding new nodes, and it will move some of the stateless services to sort of balance the load.
Okay, that's probably.
Yeah, and by default, Kontena scheduler will deploy instances to those nodes that has lowest consumption. Okay, I think everything went quite good. Okay, are there any developers here? Because I'm developer and I'm always interested in how others are doing stuff. So I thought it would be nice that when I tell briefly how we have done this Kontena Cloud setup. So what you just saw is how we have done it. So we have a Kontena Master and we have a Kontena Cloud dashboard, and between those we are using WebSocket gateway. And when you are executing command in or requesting something from Kontena Cloud dashboard, it will request Kontena Master with your Kontena Cloud user, and it's doing it via WebSocket, and the Kontena Master is responding those requests and sending also via WebSocket the response. And I think it was quite fast, considering that I'm running this dashboard on my local laptop, and Kontena Master is in DigitalOcean Amsterdam, and we have this WebSocket gateway is running on Amazon, but still things were quite smooth. And what is Kontena Cloud on a technical point of view? It's basically microservices of APIs and some databases, and on the front of that we are using Kong API gateway, and it will take care of the authentication and that kind of stuff. And of course we are using Kontena to run this Kontena Cloud, so we have scaled this into many instances. And how we are doing the deployments. So we have some developer that doing Git pushes, and when GitHub receives the push, it will trigger build in our CI system. We are using Drone CI, and basically Drone CI it will run tests, and if those are passing, it will build and push Docker image to our Docker image registry, and after that it will trigger deploy, and Kontena will deploy it to staging environment or production environment. It's depending on the Git push. So, in generally, what we are going to do this spring or in near future on a Kontena Platform side itself, we are introducing elastic volumes. So you can attach floating block storage volumes and share those volumes between your service instances. We are going to improve this Kontena stack concept. We will introduce some require or depend things, so you can configure your stack and define it to require, for example, MongoDB database. So you don't have to configure the MongoDB itself. You just say, I want this application to use MongoDB, and Kontena will deploy automatically to MongoDB. And then we introduce some revisions control and rollbacks. So you can roll back to one version back. Then we have a load balancer improvements, or will have. So we will introduce some green-blue deployments or ADP testing on that kind of stuff. And then some tasks. So tasks are some containers that are just running one command, and then they will be removed. It's like cron jobs or that kind of stuff. And thing that I already mentioned is the event and hook triggers, that kind of stuff. And on the Kontena Cloud side, we are introducing the hosted Kontena Master. So you will have master running, and you just need to bring your nodes. Then private stack repositories. So in a company, you might want to have a private repository where you share your stacks. You don't want to store those in public repositories. And team support, real-time statistics, and one thing is the hosted image registry. That might be also good addition. So basically, you always need, when you are dealing with containers, you need image registry. And the built-in shell that I also mentioned, that it's like a CLI tool inside the dashboard. Okay, what's next? Please sign up to Kontena Cloud if you haven't already done it, and install Kontena CLI. With CLI, you can install Kontena Masters, Kontena nodes very easily, and after that, you just need to enjoy. And if you have any troubles, please join our Slack channel. It's very active. And if no one from us is answering to questions, there are lots of other people that are very helpful.
So just to make sure I understood, Kontena Cloud is not available.
Further box. Catch it.
1, 2. Hey, does this work? Just to make sure I understood, is Kontena Cloud available for commercial service? No, not yet. Is it still in beta?
Not yet, but
Not yet.
it's going to be it's built so that it can be installed on premises as well. So if you need that, please contact us.
Okay, I have virtual infrastructure, and I have OpenStack virtual infrastructure as well.
Yeah. It's running in containers. So.
Yeah. Oh, this doesn't work.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Testing. Okay. So you mentioned the elastic volumes, and there was a point saying it's shared volumes. So is it the volume shared across nodes?
Yeah. I don't know. Do I have the correct answer yet? But
The correct answer is yes.
yes.
Good.
And
Another question.
So basically what we are planning to implement is support for Docker managed volumes. So if the driver that you select to use supports sharing the data between nodes as volumes, then yes.
Nice. So another question is about different environments. So currently we're using Docker Compose with separate Compose files for development. No, there's the common development, staging, and production, and they all inherit the common compose file.
Yeah.
So when we run, we say docker compose file common and file development and up. But if I want to use Kontena.yml, how am I going to make these shared options for each of the environments?
You can extend services from another YAML files with Kontena YAML files as well.
You can also do is you can embed conditionals inside your stack file, so you can have a single stack file that takes some kind of environment, and based on that,
Yeah.
you can also do different.
So there are multiple options.
So that's a very interesting question. And so, but basically, what you're saying that Kontena YAML files can be used as overrides for Docker Compose.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, basically what you can do, you can do as well, you can extend compose YAML file or service from compose YAML file in Kontena YAML file, and it will get those options there. And just add Kontena specific stuff.
Okay, let's say I have Kontena nodes in around the globe, and I have some in Europe, some in the United States, some in China. But I want all the connections to China to go through a specific network link, even though they might share some services. Is that like something Kontena can handle, or should I do it
I
with
think
just a specific, more specific
Jussi can
network
correct me,
architecture?
but Kontena doesn't have out-of-the-box solution to that.
As always, it depends. I mean, it really depends on the fact that how does the link manifest itself on the host node.
Yes.
So if you can see the specific link as a specific interface on the host level, then yes.
Well, let's say I have one network in Europe and one network in China, which are actually topologically neighbors.
Hmm?
And I would like to restrict all Kontena network to go through those specific networks.
Yeah. So if that network is seen on the host level as separate interface, then it's just one parameter to tell the Kontena agent that okay, use this interface as the peer connection interface to other Kontena nodes.
Okay. Even if there are like plenty used and plenty of Kontena nodes in Europe, they can be.
Yes.
Okay. And same in China side.
Yes.
So I'd have to specify to each node in Europe that connect me on, but they are not in the same network anyway. They are like in different cloud providers and whatnot.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so basically you configure those nodes to use some specific network interface, and another nodes are using other interface.
But they still have to talk to each other in China with probably other interfaces.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You can do it per node to configure. Okay, this node connects to China side with ETH 12, and then on China node you say that okay, connect to the Europe node on ETH 99 or whatever the interfaces are.
Okay. And the rest of the Europe nodes don't connect to China, unless through they go through that other this particular node.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe we can draw it on the board after that.
Yeah. It's just something complicated
Yeah.
that might come up. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a case where a picture helps to understand.
Yeah.
the
Sure.
case.
Still questions?
Out of curiosity, what UI tech did you use for the cloud? What kind of?
On the UI side, we are using React and TypeScript, and on the backend we are using Ruby. Different libraries, but Ruby at this moment, we are not against any technology. What is doing the best for that case, we are using that. If not anything else, I think we can go to take some cake. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.